Risk of contracting COVID-19 and just seeing what happens?
Well, Sweden did it to the whole country. What do you mean ethical? Imagine we've got to go because we're beyond the break. But appeal to emotion in a scientific argument isn't necessarily a good idea, Majid. Manaus did it accidentally to a whole city, and Sweden did it to a whole country on purpose. They weren't wearing masks, let alone having a lockdown, and no one seems to have suffered any better or worse than us. That's the point. Not that they haven't had deaths. They're pretty much analogous to the rest of Europe without having a lockdown, which is why we have to keep an open mind. It's important to try and be skeptical whenever somebody's asking you to give up your freedoms, because it can lead to other things. Anyway, you're listening to Majid Nawaz here on LBC, and the time is 1:47.
Hey guys, so you didn't miss much, to be honest, and I'm glad that it was just the end of it. They had somebody from the BMA who, better late than never, I guess, came to the party in terms of talking about how what did they talk about? They talked about how we needed to use mandatory face masks outside potentially, which is good, I would suggest, because it was really interesting. They were talking about fomite spread and they were talking about aerosol spread and the differences between the two, right? And what Majid Nawaz on LBC was saying was he quoted some scientific literature about some study that's out, and they were basically saying that there's limited evidence that this may help, right? And he was saying, he's going down the argument that if we're going to take away more civil liberties, the burden of proof needs to be on the scientists and the medical profession to actually make the argument that this is required and this is mandatory, right? Now, it's absolutely appalling, in my mind, I'm just going to stop, absolutely appalling, right? Absolutely appalling that we've got a situation where it's clickbait. It's LBC bullshit clickbait, right? And they're making arguments which are completely not grounded in science, not grounded in what's the best thing. And the sad thing that I didn't hear from, partly because Majid Nawaz didn't give them a chance to say, but the doctor that was on LBC did not get a chance, did not get a fair hearing. They were saying that the burden of proof, Majid Nawaz, should be on the scientists to do the trials. But we need to look at the risk, right? So what risk is there wearing this? Majid Nawaz is going on and saying that when you take a little bit of civil liberty away, the burden of proof should be on the scientists, basically, right? And it is just not on. It is not on, because if you have asthma, if you have COPD, if you have a medical condition where you get an exemption card where you're not wearing this, great. What harm does it do to you? Nothing. Okay, if you wear a mask and you're fit and you're well. Then Majid Nawaz was trying to bring in this term about COVID fatigue, right? And when the doctor on LBC, I don't know what his name was, I only caught the end of it, sadly, but when the doctor said, so what is COVID fatigue? What do you mean by COVID fatigue? Majid Nawaz did the usual media thing where he was saying, oh, no, sir, that's a distraction. Sorry, we're not talking about COVID fatigue. So this is a big passion of mine, even though I am very, very motivated in terms of just popping up where necessary to ensure that the scientific communication is excellent on this. When I see stuff that is wrong, plainly wrong, and the media are using it, I should call into LBC Richard Hoffman, but you know what? I can't be bothered. Because there's no point, right? There's no point. It's not. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of their time, because it's a media environment that is basically set up in their favour. It is a media environment that is set up in their favour. They will talk over you if necessary, as Majid Nawaz just did with this guy. They won't give you a fair hearing. They can cut you off at the end, and they're just interested in clicks and views and, viewership, right? And that's fine if that's their business model and their clickbait business model, whatever, right? If they do that for every other story, that's fine. What I don't think is sensible is we do this for something as important as in the midst of a pandemic, when I've already said that the scientific communication around this has been an absolute shambles, right? It's been an absolute shambles. So medical professionals have an obligation to stand up and speak out and make sure that the communication that is going out into the public domain is high quality, right? So do media organisations, so do LBC. And, you know, I listen to Majid Nawaz every now and again on a Saturday or a Sunday when I'm like off, right, and I'm listening, and it's fine. Hold on, and it's fine. I'm moving. I'm not parking, I'm moving. Give me 2 minutes. I'm moving. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, I'm not parking, I'll be 2 minutes. So yeah, so I've got to go. But that's quite a good impromptu live in terms of my words, in terms of recovering from my little head injury, which is very good. So yes, please like, please share, please comment, please phone into LBC with what I've said to you, and I'll see you guys really soon. Cheers, take care, bye.